Welcome back. We are here for Project Galileo, a rooted in trophy dark game. We are going to commence with part 2, which is the remaining rings of this game. Okay, so just want to reintroduce the characters real quick because it has been 2 weeks for us instead of the back-to-back weeks. So let me start from the left of the character keeper. So, Billy, reintroduce us to Lucas, please.
Yeah, I'm playing Lucas Miller, who is an archaeologist. After we broke through, or our drone broke through the rock and found the massive underground complex that was apparently man-made, quote unquote. Um, he decided to travel ever deeper in hopes of making the archaeological discovery of human history. THE, capital THE, the archaeological discovery of all human history. Oh, and right before we ended, I lost all radio communication with my companions. So I am very panicked.
I am playing Newton Haynes. Newton is an engineer and child prodigy, and he's here to prove his antagonistic dissertation advisor wrong. Um, Improbable intuition, and currently have a soft squirm going on.
And I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Rowan Knight, who also uses he, him pronouns. He is a geologist and former athlete, trying to get out from under a contract he has with a company called Anantech. They're exploring a structure right now, and underground possibly structure, and he just forced a door open, in the course of which there was a tear in his suit, which they have fixed, but a certain amount of his air had leaked out, and so he's a bit lightheaded right now. And he has started periodically hearing the music that they play in Anantech's lobby from time to time, and is getting more and more upset.
All right, so let's go ahead and commence with ring 3. You are able now to enter the building. It's a bit of a squeeze because, again, there was a lot of debris in the way, and the door was actually like askew and it was stuck because of it. But you do manage to get in. There are no lights here save the flashlights or the helmet LEDs that you have, and these barely illuminate the gloom. This large space is filled with monolithic metal objects. They're black and matte finished, nearly 10 feet tall and 2 feet square. Each is marked with a series of indentations in the metal. Looks like they would communicate something, but you're not necessarily sure what. Next to each monolith, on the same side as the markings, there is a circular pedestal, about 6 feet in height, topped with a slightly reflective metallic spear. What do you do in this room?
Can you describe the? I'm having a hard time picturing what these look like.
Sure. So, again, your lights barely are able to see around here, but you do notice these monolithic metal objects, nearly 10 feet tall, black and matte finished, so like no real gleam. And again, the metal objects are nearly 10 feet tall and 2 feet square. There's one side of them is like indentations in the metal because there's
Okay.
something's like etched in it, but again, you're not sure what. And then next to each of the monoliths, on the same side as where those markings are, there's a circular pedestal about 6 feet in height, topped with a slightly reflective metallic sphere.
Okay.
Okay.
How many are there? Do we see?
It is a large space. So
A lot.
you can't tell. You just see all of these here.
Newton is interested in those spheres, I think.
Ah, all right.
I'll cautiously approach and investigate.
Okay. I think as you approach one of the spheres, you are thrust into what seems to be a hazy, vibrating memory of something that is interred here. And it's like a recording of their psychic imprint.
Mm.
You're seeing flashes of what the language is, almost to the point of comprehension, but it's falling outside of your reach. You can see your hands, although they're not your hands, like, activating the spheres and like doing some kind of like in the air holographic keyboarding or something that would resemble keyboarding on something that has not been seen necessarily. Almost like the indentations are indicators of what could be projected. And there are what look like seeds. Like you can make out what look like trees, but they're not trees, but they have seeds, and each of these seeds has meaning, has knowledge. And every field of study here is attached to one of these seeds.
Hmm.
For this close, for this contact, for this immersion, tell me what you feel like sharing your mind with an incomprehensible intellect first.
I think there's there's like a desperation to kind of like expand my mind to take it all in.
Yeah.
There's like so much. It's like the light is shining very brightly in my eyes, and I just like I'm trying to open them
Yes.
wider to the point where it hurts, I think.
Yeah. You must make a ruin roll at this point.
Yes. Let's see. That's a 4, and my ruin is a 3, or was a 3. Now it is a 4.
Okay. So, in seeing this, tell me how you feel closer to the forest, feel lost in this knowledge.
I think like some of the language kind of embeds itself in my brain, not to the point of where I can necessarily understand it, but definitely to the point where it displaces some of what's already there, whether that is language or memories or something else. It's kind of like forced its way in there and made room by any means.
I think you're starting to feel an intense headache.
Mhm.
What's the first thing that comes out of your mouth as you're trying to maybe talk about this or say something about this to your companions?
Jesus fucking Christ. There's so much.
I think you too, when you hear him say this, or actually, yeah, Lucas can't, but I mean, I think as maybe you will see him like turn around and you will see him mouth something, Lucas. But Rowan will hear it very clearly in his comms, like, but instead of saying whatever you said after Jesus fucking Christ,
There's so much.
there's so much. I think there's, you hear Jesus fucking Christ, there's that's what you hear.
So I think I was turned around, so I didn't see Newton because I turned back and I was getting ready to, I was sort of trying to communicate to Lucas what do you think of these, because it was like thinking, you're the archaeologist, what's going on?
Right.
And so it was sort of starting to try to kind of point at sort of realizing he can't talk to him, just sort of just like pointing and like shrugging, and then so I think he sees Lucas see Newton mouthing thing, and it's like he hears it over the comms. Rowan does, and he's like, and he turns around and he's like, come again?
There's so much here.
You heard that as it was.
Yeah. Way more than you'd think this sort of structure would have in it. And yeah, you all right?
Yeah, just overwhelmed.
I think
So-
I think as you say this, it's like, you're saying it very pained, because to add to the soft squirm, you're also now feeling the beginnings of what feels like a migraine, because it is so much. Your brain is moving, trying to take it all in. So yeah,
Like just rushing up there.
yeah, exactly. What do you two do if you heard this, see this?
Well, I'm pretty I'm panicked. Being the archaeologist, I've got an engineer and a geologist, so like I'm like the history person here. These guys are the ones that actually do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I really would enjoy being able to listen to them. What I really would like to do, you can tell me how you feel about this. I would like to hit my helmet and use my ritual to try to fix my communications.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay. So we begin our first risk roll of the session. So because you are using a ritual, you are automatically gaining the dark die for using the ritual, because it is risky. I'm hoping it works. And then for your first light die, a skill, a skill to apply from your occupation and or background.
So I mean,
Parlay me.
perseverance.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Perseverance is probably the only one that I could really even try to start arguing for. I
Sure.
think.
That's fine.
But yeah, so I think that I am very determined to be able to communicate with these two. In fact, I feel like
Absolutely.
it's my only saving grace right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, so let's go over what could go wrong first. So if he goes ahead and just bangs his... Wait, where are you banging your head? Like, what are you banging it on?
I'm just trying to hit it with my hand, like the side.
Oh,
of
hit
my
it with your hand.
helmet.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
all right. So hitting helmet with hand. And your comms are down. Yeah, I think you're just going to damage your helmet even more. That's the most basic thing that I can think of. Anybody else have a what could go wrong scenario? We're not at Devil's Bargain yet, just so you know. We're just what could go wrong. Jim, you look like you're plotting something. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm realizing that the thing I just thought of is better as a devil's bargain.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
So maybe as the thing that could go wrong is I actually didn't even fully hear, is that he shorts out some other system.
Oh, that's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
That could go, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I think damage may include breaking a seal.
Ooh. Okay. Got it. Alrighty. So that's what could go wrong. Now, one light die, one dark die. To get that second light die to increase your odds, we need devil's bargains here, no matter what. What do you guys want to offer up?
No matter what, he kind of clunks something into place that starts picking up alien stuff over his transmission.
Alien
That
stuff.
was basically mine.
That's
He
fun.
starts to tap into a
Yeah.
different signal entirely.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah,
For
as
sure,
possible.
sure.
Yeah.
I think here's another thing that you could be doing. I think when you do the percussive maintenance, no matter what, I think you're going to figure out something. Oh wait, no, I got it. Sorry. That sounded so silly in general. Sorry. I think you're going to pick up a transmission from Anantech.
Mm,
You specifically. Like
mm.
it won't be overheard on the other comms.
I like both of those. But in the vein of Discovery, I will choose to pick up some kind of alien
Nice.
signal of some
Alien
kind.
stuff. Okay.
Some shit. Some alien shit.
Nice. Okay. Give me half a mo. All right. So
So that should be 2 light and 1 dark.
2 light, 1 dark.
I will roll thusly.
Okay.
6 dark.
Okay. Definitely raises your ruin.
I'll do it.
So you succeed. Percussive maintenance works. Tell me how this looks. She's smacking.
Yeah, so I think Rowan is kind of like, he looks back at Newton and he looks confused, and he looks back at Lucas and he's kind of like what the hell's this guy saying? And when he turns back, I am really just like wailing on my helmet over and over again. You can see through the LEDs that, like, I imagine them lighting up their face like dumb space helmets in movies light up actors' faces.
Yes, yes.
And so he is like profusely sweating, and he's just hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and then he hears some kind of static noise, and then it starts hearing something that is not and when he starts hearing this, whatever transmission he picks up, he's looking at both of his companions, and neither one of them are speaking, so he knows it's not one of them talking to him.
Right. In fact, I think your recording like picks up what sounds like a kind of like a conversation, like a what sounds like 2 separate alien voices doing a discussion, perhaps, of what is here, and somehow you're picking up on that. You don't understand the words, but you know it sounds like 2 entities conversing, for sure.
Yeah, do you guys hear that? Can you read me? Can you read me? I think I fixed it.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Do you guys hear the other people talking? I'm picking up something on my transmission, but it sounds either it's garbled or it's a different language. But there's I can hear conversation.
I mean, it could be another language. There's definitely some of that going around.
Yeah, something's going on in here. But okay, well, that's great. I can talk to you guys and hear you again. That was my goal, I suppose. So let's figure out what's going on here. I didn't get to hear what you just went through, Newton. So did you figure anything out?
I figured a lot of stuff out. I think there's this is like a library, knowledge repository, transmission site, archive, something. I just got a lot of stuff in my head now.
Well, that
Like
sounds valuable.
telepathically.
I just hope. I mean, I assume. I don't. Maybe.
Did you get information on what this whole place is? You said something about this room, but do you know what this
Yeah,
entire?
uh, possibly, but I don't know what that information is.
And are there other monoliths in this room? I'm sorry, I know you already said probably twice.
Yeah,
There's
no, no, it's
a
fine.
bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's filled with like again because your LEDs, your flashlights don't show very much because it's like the darkness of the space as well as the darkness of these monoliths is just so absorbent that you can tell it's filled with these things 10 feet tall and 2 feet square, and then like next to them is a circular pedestal that's topped with a metallic sphere that's again 6 feet tall next to each one of these. Okay, so uh, yeah, this room's filled with them. You don't see the other side of the room. That's how big the space is right now.
They're like alien microfiche readers in the bottom of a weird Martian library.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I can't see why Lucas would not go over to one and start messing with like at least the indentations to kind of, at least get him on his little helmet feed camera for later, or mess with the sphere if he can. Just basically the same thing that Newton did.
Yeah, I
So that
think
worked
you
out
are.
really well.
Yeah, you're also well because you were a little preoccupied, like hitting yourself. Yeah, quit hitting yourself. Anyway, like yeah, you get thrust into a psychic imprint as well, where I think your vision is a little different from what Newton was experiencing. So you are seeing impressions of trees, and you are getting this idea of seeds, like holding different fields of knowledge. But instead of being the one who is um, implanting slash setting up these imprints, you are the one who is um, categorizing these things as they're being planted in this space. And you are seeing, I think you're able to see a little bit clearer as you're touching the indentations or even hovering your hands over them. I think you're able to see more of the holographic images of their. The closest thing I can say is like it's like keyboarding with these indentations. So you're like actually seeing the inputs through these things. And so I would like you to tell me what it feels like to share your mind with an incomprehensible intellect.
Um, I think that in much the same way that Newton was like trying to understand, I think that Lucas is doing the same thing, but for a different reason. It's more like a historical reason than some kind of mechanical or engineering reason. It's he's the only thing he's looking for in these visions is trying to get a sense of like a social structure or hierarchy, or like are these guys jobs, or are they just at work and or talking with each other, or and so his mind's kind of flooded in that way, because once again it's something that no way he could understand.
You'd have to understand time to be able to get it from a historical perspective because their concept of time is way different from humanity. So, uh, you're just getting this stretching of generations of years, but they don't necessarily think of it linearly. So, like that whole argument of like linear time versus layered
Yes,
time.
I've seen Arrival. I know what you're talking about.
I have not seen Arrival, but I know I've always like believed in like different concepts of spatial time. So yeah, just
If you like that, you should watch Arrival. Not to derail
Yeah.
it, but
no, that's fine. That's cool.
It's
That's
good.
cool. Yeah. All right. You just remind me
I
later.
think I should make a Rowan roll for that.
You should. Yes, you should.
I go up to 5.
Oh shit. Okay. 5 dark is what he got. So Yes, you do go up to 5. And what this means is you don't have to do it now, but I'm just explaining for the recording and for you guys. Reduction rolls. When a player reaches 5, this is the closest you will get to closest to becoming completely lost, because 6 ruin is when you are lost to the environment, the forest's interests. But if you do a reduction roll and act in the forest's interests by destroying treasure, betraying or sabotaging your fellow treasure hunters, or interfering with rituals, then you are able to decrease your ruin by 1. Okay? So you can choose to do it now. You can wait a little bit until you've decided what you want to do to show you are acting in the forest's interests. Regardless of how you roll for reduction, you will always decrease your ruin by 1. However, depending on how you roll, shows whether your betrayal goes unnoticed or if your companions realize what you're doing. So, do you want to wait or do you want to do it now?
Hmm.
Because you are in the midst of one hell of a trippy ass dream right now.
Yeah. I think when he comes out of it, the other two would obviously be wondering, like, oh, what did you see? And he's what could I say? He's he says, I saw, I don't know why, at a different monolith, but I saw basically the same thing that you experienced. And we it's so hard. I'm sure you understand, Newton. It's hard to put into words.
Mhm.
But I just know that we have to keep going. We have to get farther in. Whatever I think the one I saw, the only difference is it's telling me that there's something for us at the center of all this. Something for somebody to find when they find this library. And I think that we need to push ever deeper immediately.
Is that you? Is that Lucas just talking, or is this like, his
So
way of?
I could see it argued both ways. I am very intently trying to push them farther into danger ahead of me.
Okay,
Um,
sure,
or I'm just like, yeah, we really should just keep going because I don't think he thinks that there's not a central treasure. He did not see that whatsoever.
sure.
And he didn't say that he saw anything different than what Newton saw. So he really is just lying about what he saw to
Okay.
to get them like, okay, you guys don't need to look at this anymore. Let's just keep going. I got all the answers right there.
Okay. Alrighty. So go ahead and make a reduction roll. I'm curious to see what it says.
I rolled a 3.
All right. If this is less than your current ruin, which it is, your betrayal goes unnoticed and you decrease your ruin by 1. Yay.
So I think
So,
in the concept of this, you guys think I'm being like completely truthful with you.
Mm.
I may be
Yeah.
misunderstanding, but I'm not lying to you, basically.
Yeah.
that's good. And before we see what else is around here, Rowan, what would you like to do?
So Rowan has been talking to the drone, and it's just sort of like as it's coming through, and he's like, "How do you like that? I'm just not letting you do your job, just surging ahead and sticking their brains inside these machines, or is it the other way around? Maybe both simultaneously. Hard to say. We should probably just. I mean, hopefully you're getting the pictures. Hopefully. Don't worry.
The head of the drone will click into place as it looks up at you, and it just like kind of the eyes, or what passes for eyes, will gleam at you with a soft red light glowing a little brighter as it says, "Paulo, passive, artificial, listening, observer, on."
You're, and you just sort of will pat the drone on the head, and yeah, good, yeah, good worker you are. Right, well, we can look through this. Apparently, there's more ahead. Come on, Rusty. Let's see if we can actually look at a few things before these two fellas find more things to stick their heads into. And he's just going to kind of want, and he's not being disdainful. He's kind of doing it half joking, but he's also a bit, like I said, he's sort of weaving a little bit. So he's just kind of
You're
just
really falling
rolling
into that
along at this point.
lightheadedness, sure, but you're
Yeah,
not.
just a bit.
But I just want to understand, you're just pressing forward. You're not looking or inspecting directly at one of the monoliths or the spheres.
No, I think that no. Rowan thinks that that there is something else going on, and he cannot afford to be distracted by whatever it is that is flooding his companions' heads.
Sure.
And so he's looking at things, but he's not trying to approach anything
Okay.
until, as per protocol, the drone does first.
Okay. Well, I think the drone is going to find kind of like, do its pass across the structure and like kind of create like its own little like map of this space. And then I think it's like, I don't remember if I said this before, but we're just going to say it now and then just make this canon. So in its side, there's like a little monitor. As it was making the map, it was kind of drawing it out for you, kind of like etch-a-sketching the the surrounds. But you will see in this etch-a-sketch vid of the space, when the drone is done, you'll see in the center of it, because it's, again, too dark, so it's really tough to see. You'll see in the center of this space, it is something that is not like the other monoliths or spheres. It is actually what looks like an elevator.
See, and he sort of turns to the other guys. See, you see, Rusty's figured it out. That's the middle. That's where we can get back up to that top floor we weren't able to get to. I think probably, or maybe down. Is there more down here? There could be more down here also. We should probably check things out vertically, one way or the other.
I think that down is the best option.
Didn't you say a few bits ago that you like working from the top down?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I said that. But either way, we are at the top now. I mean, who's to say the elevator even goes up, right?
Up there. Well, there was another level we didn't get to. We didn't go that bridge.
What I saw told me that what we were looking for is down. That's all I know. Or I mean, I don't think they put it at the top.
Oh, I see.
They could have.
So it's just like the gift shop up there.
You know what? I think you're exactly right. I think that's where you can buy the hats and the shirts. The safe is downstairs.
You make a very good point.
I think unbidden, Rowan, like, as he's saying, like, getting the merch of like the hats and the shirts, I think unbidden in your head comes this vision of seeing like on the shirts and the hats, the word Anantech.
Yeah. It's like, so he's just like, fucking merchandising. He just sort of says, it's like his mood immediately sort of flips for some strange reason when you say that to him, and he's just like, merchandising, and he just turns and he just starts stalking after the robot.
Lucas completely understands your hate for merchandising. Even in his whatever fugue state he's in, he is still on the same page when it comes to merchandising.
Yeah, fugue state is probably the closest and the most correct of like what you and Newton are experiencing right now. But I mean, like, do you follow Rowan and the drone? Do you two follow?
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of interested in if I move to a different cylinder with a different sphere, does the experience change, or is it kind of, are these just headsets showing the same movie?
It's not showing the same movie. I'd like maybe it's a different aspect. Maybe it's a different entity that you're riding around in
Mm-hmm.
for the psychic imprint. But, you know, again, you're getting the impression of the tree and the seeds and the, you know, like maybe a different aspect of working where it's whereas the one was cataloging, the other one was inputting. Now this is like, you know, somebody who is overseeing and trying to um, like look at it from a more people point of view. Like so, like while these guys are doing their job, this person's like actually
Putting together
looking
the
at the
Martian TPS reports.
right,
Yeah.
right, right, yeah, kind of thing. So yeah, from more of an overall kind of thing. But you again, you are thrust into it. The sensations are now even more intense as you make a ruin roll for
Yeah, and
inspecting yet
and
another
just for
sphere.
sake of characterization, as he realizes Newton is going to keep poking around, Lucas is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, and Rowan would see him doing that. Like, I said, don't do that anymore. So
No, it's all sorts of different perspectives and different. I think, I think this is some weird hive or office or something, university, library. I don't know. There's a lot of the viewpoints represented here.
I think as you say that, Newton, I think, you know, you start to drift going back to your university and you are hearing, instead of the alien language, you're hearing like the stentorian tones of that professor that was adversarial to you as it drifts from the wonderful, like, um, intonations of these aliens, these entities, but then goes into the tones of your professor.
Mm.
What is he saying to you? What is he yelling at you?
He's I think his perspective that he is trying to instill in me is that it's more important to learn from the past and understand things that were built before and how they work, instead of looking to um, replicate things that don't exist yet.
and your
Basically,
professor is completely right, by the way, I will say.
innovation is key. No. You have to look to the ancient six simple machines. Oh,
Okay,
Professor Hardigan.
Cardigan. Okay, great.
What a
Thank you.
bastard name.
All right, great. Um, yeah, so it changes your mood. I think, like, you know, the camera's looking at you or, like, you know, panning to your face, and it's almost like the shades of the epiphany have changed from like these lights of yellows and possibly
Clouds.
oranges into like a darkened like shadow that's kind of
Mhm.
creating this kind of like mug face of, like, you know, staring daggers into the distance, and then just kind of like, you know, showing off the cheekbones and then the shadows underneath and like the frown and stuff. And
Fucker.
that's what we're seeing from an audience point of view.
Yeah.
um I think, yeah, I think you two will see him do this. And how do
Is the
you,
vision like instant, or is he kind of there with his eyes rolled back for a minute?
I mean, I think in this case it's instant because he's opened up already, and so therefore it's just happening faster. And then that's where you see it almost immediately go from to, you know, in a matter of seconds, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think when he comes out, Lucas is like got his hands on his shoulders and he's like, I'm telling you, too much of that at
Get
once is a
off
bad
of me.
thing.
Like fucking touch me.
Yeah, Lucas will like completely just like get knocked back, fall back on his butt.
Sure. Yeah. And in the meantime, like Rowan, you get to the elevator and it's a simple thing. I mean, it doesn't look like, well, actually, you can't tell right now. I think, the drone is like kind of like, like doing the mechanical sounds of like point, you know what I mean? Like how a dog would like do the pointing gesture and then like, go, this is where you need to go. And you're looking back at your companions who are having a tiny little altercation between themselves.
Am I am I hearing the altercation, or is
I, I
that, or
think
is it
I
one to
think
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question. What is it? Is it
I would just be on general comms.
Yeah, I
okay?
think it does
Okay,
broadcast.
it's like
Yeah. So you hear it.
now, now, lads, we shouldn't do that. That's what they want us to do. We shouldn't argue with each other. We should be doing our jobs. Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile,
Yes.
Rusty's found the elevator.
All right, let's go.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on. We can always look at these on our way back, right?
Got plenty of time.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, plenty of time to unspool your brain like spaghetti. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, if you feel like sampling every single one of these things, just sort of
There's
looking around at them.
yeah. In this elevator, it is
Can't be
pretty.
good for you.
It is pretty not sterile necessarily, but I mean like, just very bare. And there's only a single button.
I guess there's no choice which way we're going.
Yep, the elevator will tell us, and we will do what it tells us.
And so you press the button and you feel this rising sensation. But yet, even as you're feeling a rising sensation, you feel like your stomachs have dropped out from underneath you. Almost like if you were lava lamps, it's like, one blob goes up and the other blob goes down. That's basically the sensation. And while you're on it, you notice that the walls have sort of turned transparent. And you see like the rock or the building material of this place, and you can see yourself going through layer after layer after layer, pretty identical from one layer to the next, as it seems like you're rising. As you ascend, let me ask each of you, all right, you know what, I'm gonna do this one at a time. Rowan, what revolutionary idea did you just come to in this place about Lucas's field? You, a geologist, suddenly realizing it's like there's this revolutionary thing that could be happening in archaeology right now. If only Lucas knew that.
I think it has to do with speaking as a geologist. I think it probably has something to do with the method of digging that they use when they're uncovering things, and I think that he's thinking about the fact that it, to his mind, it hasn't changed that much in some time, but we now have these. We now have chemicals that we can use or to create. Essentially, it's almost like programmable fluids to gases, sort of like things that can make the uncovering process faster without disturbing the things underneath. It's like, because he was thinking about this, oh God, what's there's a correlation from real life that I'm trying to grab the words and the words aren't coming, but I almost want to say it's related to oh God. The things that come to mind: freon, liquid nitrogen. There are things that we have that in present day Earth, not in the game, we use more for that we see more involved with freezing processes and what have you.
Refrigerants.
But my thought is that there have been advances that are used in geology to determine things that could be used to make it a lot simpler to survey a dig site.
Okay. Lucas, I'm going to ask you as you ascend, what revolutionary idea did you just come up with, especially as your mind is so open and freed from its limitation? What have you come up with in engineering that if only Newton knew, he would be considered at the top of his game?
I would say kind of like what you had spoken about, that there is some way or some abstract, unlike Jim, I don't have a real world touchstone for this, in which we can learn to or create something to perceive time in a more cyclical way instead of linear way, or experience more time at the same time. There is some kind of device clearly that either these beings used, maybe it's not an innate physical ability they have, maybe they created the technology to experience time cyclically. But it's so obvious that I don't know why Newton hasn't said anything about it yet.
And Newton, you've seen and within the spheres twice, and you feel like your brain is pulsing and crawling and squirming with all sorts of ideas. It's like that gray matter has turned all sorts of different colors because now it is awake and alive and electric. What revolutionary idea did you just come up with regarding geology that if Rowan knew, he would be brilliant?
Yeah. There's clearly a way, since silicates are organized in a certain crystalline way, there's obviously a way to use those as almost like not even nanomachines, smaller even, like using them to both compute and analyze the surrounding material, or do different geological functions in situ without having to dig stuff up and take it to a lab or whatever. You just like use the rock itself as a computing substrate.
Computing substrate. Amazing.
I mean, they built it here for a reason, right? Maybe
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
So I ask all of you, as the camera pans, like a wide shot of your faces, either looking just straight at the door or maybe up in the air or just in the distance, and the camera sees, maybe it's at a Dutch angle, who knows, but I mean, it kind of gives this impression that you all come up with your amazing ideas all at once, and you each in turn start to bring your eyes to the person whose field you have just discovered in an amazing way. Do you tell each other about your discovery, your thought, or do you
Immediately.
save it? Okay. Okay.
You know what?
I just realized that you could. Yeah.
I think that Lucas is I'm not gonna say how those two are facing, but if the walls are transparent,
Mhm.
and I picture it as coming up and then it kind of opens up, it's not just a wall right outside the elevator.
Yeah.
In my mind, and so Lucas is kind of off to like a side of the elevator, gazing over, and then you get that reverse shot, and it's Lucas's face, and over his shoulder is Newton, and he just like turns his head in his helmet, and he doesn't say anything.
Okay. Rowan, do you say anything to Lucas?
I think that I think that Rowan imagines that he's been been mentioning this to Lucas, but actually all that comes out is he just very, very, very just sort of as with a beatific smile, he's placed his hand on Lucas's shoulder and says, "Refrigerant."
Yeah, and somehow Lucas almost starts to glean what he means by that because of how much Lucas's mind has been opened up to unfathomable things. He's just like, yeah, and he nods his head and
Mm.
And Newton, do you say something to Rowan?
Yeah, I it just comes out like a torrent. It's like, oh my God, did you realize that I go on in details
Yeah,
and
right.
And I think as you are hearing this, I think as you're saying this, and again, your helmets are on, comms are on, in general, I think there's static, there's interference, and I think both you and Lucas, Rowan, you're both hearing it as like, oh my God, and like you're seeing his excitement, you can see his moving his mouth, but they're not saying the words that you're seeing him say. It ain't
So-
English.
because I experienced one of these things, can I like catch a word once in a while? Like, not that he's saying it in English or something, but
Oh no,
that
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I understand once in
You
a
understand
while.
like every once in a while, like what he's trying to say. You recognize silicates, and you recognize, analysis, and like geology, substrate, something, whatever. But I mean, like I don't think Rowan, you understand anything at all.
And he just sort of looks at Newton again. He's like, "Come again?"
look, it's simple.
Exactly. So I mean, like to Lucas, yeah, it starts
Yeah,
to come
Lucas
through.
is kind
a
of
little
giving him
more.
the same, like, okay.
I thought you were a
just realized,
geologist,
like,
man. Come on, it makes sense.
Do you hear yourself, man?
Yeah. Do you hear me? Are your comms okay?
I'm getting gibberish.
Maybe you're just not understanding.
Whoa. Rusty, could you play back what our esteemed colleague Newton just said?
And
Hmm.
I'm gonna say
Interesting.
that Rowan needs to make a ruin roll.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You are the crazy one, not us. Don't you understand?
Yeah,
No!
clearly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Join
Okay.
us at 4.
Nope. Does not go up. It's a one dark. So no. Yeah.
Damn.
Tell me
Turns
how
out
you
we
keep it
are the
together.
crazy ones.
Tell me how you keep it together, Rowan. In the midst of what seems like a united front between Lucas and Newton.
Well, I mean, on the one hand, it could just be that the drone, whose name is not Rusty, by the way. It's just that Rowan has decided to call it Rusty.
Sure, that's fine.
It could be that the drone just sort of plays back what it picked up.
And it picked up the strange language, but
Yeah.
because Newton and Lucas have been seeing the spheres,
Yeah.
They think
they're gonna hear it as what they
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that sort of sees that. Here's what He's like just sort of looks down at the drone, looks back at Newton and Lucas, and is like just sort of determining, realizing that there is. It's like I think he just if I may, I think he puts two and two together at least briefly. That it's like, wait a minute, both of these people stuck their brains in a sphere for a moment, and it's like, wait a minute. He's like, and unfortunately, geologist. I don't think I know any sort of simple language things that can be done. He sort of sees it and he's like, right. There's something going on here where it's making the fact that the two of you went and talked to the monoliths and I did not. I think has affected our communication.
We need to go up and get you a hit.
No.
We can all be on the same page at least.
I mean,
No.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
it's
fine.
Like
I'll
we
make
got
it.
universal
I'm already.
translators and you
I've
don't
already
have one,
got.
So
I'm already a little. I'm a little bit not completely here. So I don't think that would help any. But I just know I'll do my best to figure out what you fellas are saying as we go.
we could
All
make
right?
some drawings or something for you if that would help.
Yes. And I have an idea for one more little test. Just to make sure that that maybe it's the monoliths that affected us. And I'll turn to Newton and start telling him my idea that I had for engineering. And then that way Rowan can see if we both just start talking in complete gibberish or not. Which I assume we do. And I turn back to him and I'm like, did you catch any of that?
You sound like a train station announcer.
This is incredibly fascinating. He kind of goes and types a couple things in on his little ARM data pad that they have in every sci-fi movie.
Yep. And I think there's a section of one of the walls in this elevator, which, again, it's like minutes have passed and you're still ascending. But one of these sections, like, starts to shimmer. It starts to go from transparent to what looks like beautiful liquid. It reflects only in organic materials and light. So maybe like in this shimmering, you see just the light from your LED flashlights. You see like your suits. But strangely enough, you don't see yourselves in your lit helmets. Like as if the suits are completely empty in this shimmer.
Did it turn us into vampires too?
And I think as we fade, the camera fades to just the silhouettes of these suits and the illumination of the lights as we close out of Ring 3. So let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and then we're going to come back and go right into Ring 4.
Alrighty.
10 minutes. See you then. Ring 4. The elevator reaches the top. Again, your flashlights barely illuminate a hallway. It spirals and ascends, even from here. On the wide floor, from what you can see, they seem to be piles and piles of mechanical components. They're completely rusted through, but the piles themselves are quite large. There's smaller bits of scrap littering the floor. It's easy enough to walk around and continue ascending into the darkness and silence. The only sound you can hear, aside from perhaps even your breathing in your helmets, is the boots of your EVA suits striking the worked stone floor. After a short time, though, you begin to hear a sound. It is a very uncomfortable sound. It is metal grating on metal, a horrible shriek that echoes through the space. Through the wall, you can hear heavy footsteps and begin to feel a vibration through the floor of these footsteps. And from behind this wall, or from behind you, there's a faint green light reflecting on these walls, growing brighter by the moment. You are in a hallway, and you see this growing green light coming up behind you. What do you do?
So we passed a spot and now it's coming from where we came from, or at least behind us.
It's coming from behind you, yes. You came off of the elevator. Yeah. Down a spiraling, ascending hallway. But you hear it. And it's metal grating on itself, as if something has awoken, and it's not in its newest form, per se.
We don't see anything yet, right?
Do you wait to see?
Newton is curious. Yeah, unless the folks have.
Okay, so
Other
let me
inclinations.
find out from each of you before I address this. So I'm imagining it's like Rowan came out first with the drone, Lucas, and then Newton. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Rowan, what are you doing? Are you going to stay, or are you going to like plumb forward? What are you doing?
This is such a good question, because like it's like I think to Rowan's mind it's like, this is it. This is where they're selling us out. He's thinking of Anantech still. But
I mean, you
he
can go
just sort of sees his
further down the hallway, just so you know. I mean, like there's
yeah. Well, that's kind of the. He's just sort of is going to he's going to be tapping the other two those on the shoulders, as unless I don't think they're necessarily going to be friendly, and he's going to start kind of trying to. Does the drone have a defensive mode?
I don't think so, because then I think as you're thinking it like it automatically goes again, the eyes gleaming at you, red. Paulo, online, passive, artificial, listening, observer, on. You can almost hear a smile in the electronic voice now.
Oh no. No. Not you, Rusty. Don't you abandon me too. So we're going to yeah. No, he's gonna start. I don't want to abandon them there. He's going to start trying to just sort of generally move away to get everyone moving in that direction.
Okay.
But he's going to slow down if he sees they're not doing it.
Oh God. Okay, Lucas, what are you doing?
I like to think that Lucas is the happy medium between completely dipping out like Rowan and really really excited to see what's coming around the corner like Newton. So if Rowan is a bit farther down the hall, Lucas is completely in the middle and between the two.
Okay. And Newton.
Yeah, Newton. I mean, everything else seems to have been fine so far. So let's take a look at what's coming. We don't know just because it sounds like metal scraping. Like it could be, maybe it's just old. There's no reason to think that it might be dangerous.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that Newton's looking back. It's like I feel like, Lot's wife. Um, it's basically where your vision's actually obscured because again you're looking into deep darkness behind you, even with your little light, and your vision is now obscured by this bright green light that's emerging from this like opalescent glass eye in the center of this mass that's coming out from the darkness. And I think you can see, you, Newton, as you're kind of like closer than everybody else, there's like whatever limbs there are or body of this thing, it looks partially melted because it's rusty and disintegrated and it's like kind of rusty melted, drip on itself. And every motion that it makes, as mechanical as it is, it's like there's just this deafening shriek of grinding metal. It's not moving quickly, but it's got mass. Because again, as it nears, thump, thump. And like just coming after you. If you're not
How
moving, you're
how
gonna
big is
need to
it?
make a ruin roll, man.
I think I already need to make a ruin roll. How big is it?
You can't tell. You just see this
Oh,
bright green light in like encompassing your vision. You just get the impression as you too, Lucas, you're getting this impression of something that's filling that space of the hallway,
hmm,
of that cavernous hallway. So, yes, please make a ruin roll.
yeah.
Oh God.
Ooh, a
Oh God.
six.
6 star. Okay. That
Six is
means your ruin
that's
goes up by 1.
that's good, right? Six is good.
Sure, it's great. What this
Yeah.
means is you're at 5 ruin now, so you can make a reduction roll too. Okay,
Yeah.
and
All you
as
gotta
we
do is
know,
push Lucas out of the way as you run by
Yeah.
him, and that's a good reduction.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, wait. Let's see. Let's see the Excuse me. Let's see the reduction roll first. If you want to do that right
Oh yeah,
now,
I'm not
to
gonna do
see
the
if you're.
reduction roll right now. I think
Oh,
it's mostly just like, yeah, it might be friendly, but it's big and it's gonna crush us if we don't move. So yeah, guys, let's go.
okay. All right. So, danger and noise. Okay. Attempting to run in this environment, in the darkness, even with your little lights and stuff, with detritus strewn about the floor requires a risk roll. So anybody that's trying to book it is going to have to risk roll it. So we're going to take these risk rolls one at a time,
Mhm.
depending on who's doing them. So is everybody running? Let me ask you that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's go with um, let's go with Newton first because he's the closest to this thing. So I just want to make sure that, and then we'll go down the line, to see how much in danger you all are. Oh boy. Okay. Risk roll. What could go wrong? Yeah, crushed by creature thing, melted rust thing. That's the big one. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. It could get worse, but we'll see. And then Newton, risky body for sure.
Yeah,
So
100%.
dark die, light die, uh, engineer, child prodigy skills. Anything that you want to parlay to apply to this.
I think bringing my ritual in might be interesting. The improbable intuition,
Okay.
just kind of like getting a feel for like what the surroundings are like, instead of
Okay.
just like Spider-Maning it, just like instead of like, okay, there's a thing, there's a thing there,
Okay.
just like
All right.
feeling it out, feeling it out.
I'll take it. And then you're already getting the dark die for doing the ritual anyway, so it's
Yeah.
fine. So yeah, I like, say we'll do your ritual as part of this, and of course your skills, analytics, like we can even say.
Mm,
So the second light die comes from a devil's bargain, no matter what.
I'll throw just a simple one out there, quote
Hmm.
unquote simple.
Hmm.
I think that no matter what, um, since you're so close to this thing, you hear metal on metal, but you hear a voice coming from it, like almost like a radio playback or something.
mm,
And you would recognize the voice, of course, because it is your, or at least to you, it sounds like your dissertation advisor.
nice.
Nice. I was gonna throw in something like that too. Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing.
I love that one so much.
Yeah.
Um,
I
the
have
only,
one. I okay. Yeah, I have one. Not nearly as good, but I mean, like it is a no matter what. I think because of the weight, the mass of this thing, and it's coming towards you, I think there's like rocks from the cavern hallway like starting to come loose, and then you hear it ping like around you and next to you, and then maybe even as you're turning to sprint down the hallway, I think you'll see like a flash of white as things seem to disappear into the walls next to you.
Mm,
Yeah.
so
mm.
the no matter what that I would have, the only thing I can think of is um, uh, some degree of hearing loss.
Mm.
Um, which we don't know if it's temporary or permanent, but there's a lot of loud noises going on right now, and you're closest to it, so that's a possible no matter what, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Those are all good. I think I've got to go with the dissertation advisor's
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, maybe this is where it's like your opening of your mind and also to bad memories and just like
Hmm.
kind of sticking in your craw. It's like really like blending in and bleeding into your reality. So tell me, as you're making this run and like, the same kind of heart palpitations that you're receiving from trying to get the fuck away are the same heart palpitations that you're feeling in this memory. What is this memory? In hearing the voice of your advisor?
I think it is. We've kind of like closed down a bar near campus, and it's just basically like us two in a dive yelling at each other. And eventually we get thrown out, and we're like just like drunk and messy and just on the street at 3 a.m. outside of this bar yelling at each other about engineering.
If I had a nickel for every time that happened to me, I tell you.
Yep.
Okay. And with that, Lucas, you're running too?
Should I
Yeah.
make my roll?
Oh, yes.
Hey, it's a 6 dark. Boom.
Oh
Uh-oh.
my God.
Woo.
Okay.
I'd like
So,
to put on a mask.
Oh,
wrong game. Wrong game. Sorry. Sorry.
Crown.
So what
Crown,
this
sorry.
so what this means
Can-
is
can
with a
I?
6.
Can I
What?
help him?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I guess
Yes.
would the dark always win on a 6 then? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
so there's no point in helping, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Um,
Woo.
so basically what this means is with a 6 dark, Newton's ruin goes yet again by 1, and he is now at 6. Oh, Newton, please tell me how you are lost to the environment.
I think, as I've got the intuition to get around these the obstacles and whatnot, but the memory has become vivid enough that like I'm more perceiving that than perceiving my surroundings, and eventually stumble And when it catches up, it kind of, instead of crushing me on the ground, it kind of, some part of it like scoops me up and just like impales me on a part of it.
Yes.
And like immediately like my consciousness goes away and into it and become part of the thing, and like I start screaming, but the scream sounds like that metal
Exactly.
sound, not like a human scream.
Yes. So exactly. And maybe that's what comes out of your mouth
Yeah,
as you're become subsumed into this thing.
yeah.
And I'm gonna say, now don't think I'm letting you off the hook yet, because this is the first time it's happened. But like, when like when a character is lost to the environment, and we still have a little bit to go, survivors still, then you can help me and be part of the environment now to help me create the atmosphere. So, Lucas, you are. I don't know what to do first, like, because I want to give you a ruin roll because now it's closer to you, but you might have seen this, so let's make
And
a
you just saw
ruin roll.
that happen.
Well,
I was gonna say,
let's
if you're
see what the
telling me I
ruin roll
saw it.
is. Let's see what the ruin roll is first, because if you are rolling low enough, then you didn't see it, and in which case, like, that's what keeps you together.
Okay, so this rune roll will determine if I saw what just happened.
Correct.
Basically.
Correct.
No.
Okay.
Got a 3 dark.
So you didn't see it. However, you do hear the screeches getting much, much louder. So as you run away, not seeing anything that happened behind you, you have to work your way around this detritus. So, risk roll, definitely risky to body because you're trying to get away from this thing. Parlay me for the first light die, the skills, skills from your occupation or background.
Yeah, once again, my background skill, I think, perseverance. I'm pretty set on not being killed by this thing, I would say.
Yes, sounds good.
So,
Survival.
yeah, it's a good instinct to have, I think.
Absolutely. All right. So, God, to get that second light die, we need, no matter what, give us a devil's bargain, people. I think in the sounds of this thing, I think you hear more knowledge, like more proof, or where to find it, or something. And you're hearing it turn from grating metal to applause as you're getting the Nobel Prize. That's mine. Devil's bargain.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is in stopping to long enough to be able to get around the detritus, he catches a glimpse of the thing.
And therefore a glimpse of Newton on it, I assume.
Yes. Or maybe what you don't want to admit is Newton. God.
I do like those both. Quite a bit.
No, also, no matter what, you hear, I think, like in the metallic screeching voice, you do hear me yelling at you, and it's just that it's that language, and it's babbling like another revelation, only like it archaeologically, like, oh no, here's some more stuff I thought of. Wait, come back, let me tell you.
Oh
Yeah,
my
in
God.
the middle of screaming and
that's
stuff.
amazing. Holy shit. I don't know how you're going to make that decision, Billy, because I mean, like, it's all so
I know,
good.
they're all very, very good.
Damn. I have heard of people like actually taking all of the devil's bargains, because, yeah. But I don't want to inundate you. That just seems unfair. You still only get the one extra light die.
I really, so if I do kind of take the one where I hear Newton. I guess in a roundabout way, it is myself kind of acknowledging that he's been lost to this machine.
Yeah.
So that would be kind of both of them. And if you want to
Yeah.
throw on some hallucinations of scattered applause for my Nobel Prize, I will take all three of them. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's because it's gonna blend. It's gonna look amazing. Like cinematically, it's gonna be amazing. However, let's just see how you roll.
All right, 2 light, 1 dark.
Mm-hmm.
I got
Rolled
a
a
5
5 light. So what this does is you succeed with a complication, or you can risk it for a biscuit. Add a dark die, so it'll be 2 light, 2 dark, and re-roll. But we will have to accept whatever you re-roll. What do you want to do?
I will succeed with a complication.
Okay. So, yes, tell me how this looks as you are getting the hell away, and like maybe you are seeing like Rowan's back in front of you, but you do turn back a little bit. And what do you see?
Yeah, so I think it's turning a couple corners. Lucas slips and falls a couple times, and he's made enough headroom to keep a little bit ahead of this thing. And eventually he starts hearing Newton, who is making some pretty good points, I think, about some revelations he's had. So one time when he's getting back up from his knees, he kind of turns around right as the way I picture it. Oh, what movie am I picturing? I always
I
tie
know, me
things
too.
in with movies.
I do too. Yeah.
But around the corner, whatever is left of Newton's body is the first thing he sees. So Newton kind of like hanging there comes around the corner first, while he's like, his mouth is just open, but words are happening like he's talking. And so yeah, he lays eyes on that, and before he falls backwards again and scrambles up and starts running, and when he turns his back, maybe Newton himself, or what he's going to perceive as Newton now, is the one like clapping for him while he's after he's saying all these revelations and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it's like and then it drifts into this vision. Like we see the montage of like we can hear the clanging, grinding metal, but then like it turns into of applause as you're taking all of these revelations and using them to find what you need to get that prize. It's almost like gleaming onto your face.
Yeah,
And
and I think one of the best parts about that is imagining that this thing scoops him up, right, but doesn't break his helmet. So when he's talking, it's just right in our ears, so we can hear it
Yeah.
oh
like he's still on the
God,
radio.
oh my God. Yeah, so Rowan, you hear this too. If you hear this too, because it's on comm. Rowan, roll, please. Rowan.
Okay.
The only movie I can think of is Michael Ironside in Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, but it's like that.
I was thinking of like there's a profile shot where like a monster. I'm probably thinking of The Thing. I think of The Thing like multiple times
Yeah,
a day. It
yeah,
comes
yeah.
around the corner and you just get the
The woman in black.
profile.
Yes. Ew. Okay,
Yeah, good
so
stuff.
so Jim rolled a 2 dark, and that's not high enough to mess you up. So tell me how you keep it together, Rowan.
Okay. So I've
You've been hearing this in the general
I've been
call.
hearing the just to be clear, there have been a lot of things sort of feeding into this, so I'm trying to think what I'm hearing. And I think he's he's hearing all kinds of things, and so he's at the point he's just sort of like tuning it out
Okay.
at this point.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like figure it out later.
Yeah.
Go run now. Figure out stuff later.
Yeah. I think as you're running, I mean, because the drone is keeping up with you / kind of a little bit ahead, maybe you're focusing on the red light. Because it's blinking steadily and the drone is taking you further down. But you do hear some of those distant sounds through your comms, as well as like feeling the vibrations under your feet still, even though you're further away than Lucas is. Okay. But still, running through the dark, even with the help of the drone, you are still needing to do a risk roll to get around
Okay.
these piles of detritus. So, yeah, ritual risk to body. Um, you already have like a great background for being able to do this, so you could apply that for your first light die
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, yeah, you're a mineralogist. You learn to avoid the pointy rocks, basically. So
Exactly.
I was thinking kind of that. Yeah.
And then your second light die comes from the no matter what, the devil's bargain. What do you want to offer up to Rowan?
Keeping in line with the psychological kind of horror stuff we've been talking about,
Mhm.
I think you're tuning out all this crap that's coming over your intercom while you're running, except for one thing, and that is Newton's voice. But he sounds very like he's in a commercial, and he says, "Anantech, we solve all your problems."
Oh,
Oh, that's amazing.
okay. Because I was going to do something quite similar, which was as you're running, you see the vid viewer like on the side of the drone as you're like running alongside slash behind it a little bit, and then you see as part of the feed, because like you can sort of see the map moving along with you, you can see the slight uh, pixelated feed right underneath saying something very similar to like Anantech analyzing data, receiving, and like it's just kind of like this feed that goes on. You can see it like da 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 Anantech, da 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 Anantech.
Oh, like they're receiving all like, oh
Yes,
yeah, we
everything
know
that's
what's going
going
on
on
there.
is going on
Yeah.
because they're receiving it for sure.
Yeah, I got
And and
theories.
and now Rowan sees it. So that's my devil's bargain.
Mine is not as good. No matter what, you somehow disable your comms so you don't have to hear it, whether you wind up hearing it or not.
Oh no.
I
Oh
I
no.
like all of these, but I
It's
think
terrible.
yeah, huh. I think that really I'm gonna go for one of the Anantech ones.
Mhm.
Um, and on the one hand, hearing Newton's voice distorted into an Anantech commercial is awesome. But I think that and that does fit into what we've just been doing. Um, I think that seeing like something to him, the confirmation that they've got their fingers in this is probably gonna be the direction we want to go in. So I think going with Mad's thing where I'm seeing that scrolling across is going to be the thing where I keep seeing that there's like that they're getting this transmission. Whether or not I'm hallucinating, we don't know, but I'm seeing that.
Yeah, I mean it's part of the vid feed for the most part, so
Yeah,
that's why.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so let's
yeah,
see how
but
you
I
roll.
definitely now believe that they are receiving all of this.
Ugh.
So
Two
what
light,
dice am I rolling?
risk, and you're rolling two light, one dark.
2 light, 1 dark. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right, here we go. 2 light, 1 dark. I got 5 dark.
Five dark. If this is higher than your ruin goes
It
up by
is.
one.
It is.
Okay,
I've somehow
so
managed to have a ruin of 3 up until now.
all right. So now you're up to four. Please tell me how you start falling more into. Uh, I mean, you succeed, so you are essentially making it through the detritus. However, not unscathed. So, what is happening to you that you're starting to fall deeper into the forest clutches? That you're getting lost to your environment?
Hmm. So I'm a little torn on this because we got a couple of things that are coming in. I could either do a I could do a thing where I separate us, or I could do a thing where it's just more of a psychological impact on Rowan specifically.
Either
Um,
or, I can work with
if-
either.
If you want my opinion, I say separate us 100%.
Okay.
Great.
I think I think that if we're good with it, if we're good with splitting the party here,
Oh yeah, of course.
we get. I think that the drone and I get so far ahead that we lose Lucas, and it's not intentional.
No, but it makes sense
But,
because it's like your intent.
yeah,
You've been watching the stupid like Anantech feed, and you're like, boom, 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 boom. And you're
And
also
it's like-
a former athlete, so you're a
Yeah.
lot faster.
yeah.
So
So we just forget it, and it's like kind of just lose track of him and forget about it for a bit, and we just move ahead and to probably end up somewhere different from where he's going.
exactly. Gosh. Mm. So either way, so I think say it does branch out a little bit. And so, like, Lucas is making his way, and you, Rowan, have been following the drone, and you find yourself through a door of sorts back into the open air of the cavern. There's faint green lights on distant buildings, and that's the only illumination here. Steps lead higher on top of the building. There are small structures built to the sides of the steps, each containing a monolith and a sphere, like below. But these are transparent because you see in these monolith spheres, you see the tall, gangling, white-skinned bodies of these beings suspended within them, wasted and emaciated. The heads are what are encased in the spheres. Similarly decayed, the thin skin stretched out over a skull that's too long and too narrow. I ask both of you because perhaps you find yourself in a different area, Lucas. Tell me about these creatures. What do they look like, even with the skin stretched out over these long and narrow skulls? Eyes, arms, any clothing left? What do these bodies look like?
I'm picturing in total something like 8 or 9 feet tall that has incredibly long, like a small-ish torso in comparison to its total height, but really long limbs. And the once again, I'm talking about movies here because that's how I communicate. The first thing I thought of was Indiana Jones, funny enough, and the Crystal Skull when you were starting to talk about that. But I won't mention that movie again. But yeah, this like thin, I see their skin as almost translucent, kind of in the way that when we kind of came into the chamber in the first place, how the light kind of made us seem. Maybe if we had their same physiology, we would look pretty similar, on a skin level. But I really do I imagine them to be incredibly tall and lanky and thin.
Mark, you can also add to these details as well.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. That's good.
I think I can think of a detail, but
Okay. Yeah.
I need to. I'm going to ask. I just checked our safety and we don't have it specifically marked, but I'm going to ask anyway. If so to let me know if this is okay. That I think some of them are smaller. So their young are here as are among the bodies. If we're okay with that. And there's like a slight difference there. I think there are remains of clothing to an extent, I think that these have probably been here long enough that well, the bodies are still here. Yeah, so I guess the clothing to a certain extent would have been preserved as well then, unless it's because they're advanced enough, they'd have stuff that can last. So it's clothing is there, but it does sometimes, some of it looks kind of a little bit ragged, as though there was some sort of conflict prior to them being placed in these spheres.
Mark, can you tell me about their heads? Like their facial features, if any?
And so are their heads in the spheres, you're saying?
The heads are encased in the spheres,
Mhm.
similarly decayed to the bodies,
Yeah.
and the thin skin is stretched out over the skull that is too long and too narrow.
Yeah. And I think the spheres are larger than the heads would have been. And you can kind of tell that the the heads were less elongated before, because there's like skin stretched and torn in some places, almost as if like the longer they stayed in the spheres, the this elongating stretching effect it had on the skulls.
That's
And
interesting.
even the facial expressions, if there are, like, indicate like this was not it was more of like an ecstatic experience, almost painful but wonderful enough to remain.
Interesting. Do you see them suspended in any kind of um, material? Or are they like just hovering there within the sphere because of some anomaly of gravity?
Yeah, I was seeing them hovering.
Okay.
And not even, there's not a visible opening. It's almost as if they pass through the bottom of the sphere in some way.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Okay.
Or like a bubble.
Right. And I think here, as as you both, wherever you are, as you're seeing these structures, like line these steps leading up to this building, I think on irregular intervals between these things, between these monoliths, you see pools of water where there are small, tiny, clover-shaped plants. And you look at them, they're there, and it's almost as if when you look back at them, that they're slightly larger, or they've grown slightly taller. But you're not sure. As we fade to black on that, and we close out of ring 4 and go into the final ring, ring 5. So, the top of this building is a domed structure. Inside, in the center, is a device that is somewhat larger than the monoliths outside and laying flat. So, how they were, as you say, like 10 feet. This, instead of standing up, it's actually on its side and it's laying flat on a dais. There's a small, tiny digital display made of crystals that has glyphs slowly and slightly changing. I don't think either one of you, coming from where you were, see each other on the other side of this chamber, on the other side of the structure. But from where you are, you both see that the walls of this room are decorated with images and glyphs. In several places, you see a 10-ringed image etched on the wall, as if there's like a map of this particular solar system. Each of the planets are in a different position, and glyphs that are arranged like captions. Maybe it's the indentations, maybe it's the etchings that you saw earlier down below. What do you do? What do each of you do seeing this?
Did you say 10 rings?
Yeah. It's etched on the wall. And again, that
I
that monolith on its side, on it laying flat, has one of these creatures in it.
and is that like at the top of this
Mm-hmm.
staircase you're talking about?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I assume we'd be coming up from like different directions, like you were saying.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But maybe when you find Lucas, he is up there, kind of messing with the whatever keyboard like object there was, trying to use the understanding that he gleaned from the monolith earlier to realize what this thing is.
Because I'm going to say that because it, now that you're getting a closer look, I think because it's laying flat instead of, vertical, I think you see this body as more intact. It's the head and the body are together. The head is, as Marc said, which is not elongated, stretched out too long. It's actually like in the shape and the size that it would normally be in life. And it's wrapped up, even as it's suspended in this case, I think like it's more wrapped up, like there's clothing, robes, but you can't tell what kind of material it is. And what passes for eyes on this thing look like they're closed.
Well, I'm going to do what every protagonist in every horror movie does and should do, and that is lean in real close to this thing's face to kind of get a better look at it. If it's encased, then I'll lean close to the body, and just kind of examine the robes, and I will touch it. If I will do whatever to understand.
Oh my god, why am I picturing Prometheus in that thing with the snake?
Yep.
God dang it. Okay. Risk roll. Yay, fun. Okay. Sure. What do you have? What do you
I'm going to angle for history or excavation here.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
As a
perfect sense.
skill.
I was gonna say, sure. Dark dye. There is a risk to this.
I figured as much.
What could go wrong? The thing is going to wake up and tear your face off. You know, the usual shtick.
As it goes, as it goes.
As it goes, as it goes. I didn't know if anybody had anything worse than that or whatever that you wanted to add. Holy crap. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. The only other what could go wrong thing I can think of is something is alerted to his presence there.
Oh.
Another thing that could go wrong is that your consciousness just like falls into it, and you like lose yourself, and or you're perceiving things from the perspective of it.
Yeah, like looking at myself in third person.
Mhm.
That would be
Unable to come back. Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay. Amazing. So that's what could go wrong. All right. So light dye taken care of. Dark dye taken care of. Second light die. No matter what. Devil's bargain.
No matter what, when you get a closer look at it, you realize the face has a eerie resemblance to your own.
See, that was a better version of the one that I had. I keep thinking of the same things everyone else is thinking of. My thought was I was going to be more vague. I was just going to be no matter what, there's something you recognize about it when you get a better look, and it's a bad thing.
Mm.
Here's a and it's sort of what I had for that.
Oh my god, I just had this vision of something and it's like it's not it. Oh god. Oh, I got it. Because it goes with like the thing of like, it was them all along, damn you. I'm gonna say that you recognize something in the case when you get closer to the body. Regardless, I think it's something that you have on you at present, and it's on the body right now.
Like a similar item.
Yes.
And I've thought of a second. No matter what, is that allowed, or is
It's
that
fine.
too
Like,
much?
just throw out some ideas. Because, I mean, like, essentially, like, Billy's going to pick out
Oh, yeah.
one of them or all of them. Who
Or
knows?
more, yeah.
No, secondary, no matter what, is no matter what, its eyes will open and it will see you.
Okay.
Is another
Ooh.
possibility.
Okay. So you're going to go out and poke it. It looks dangerous, but I'm going to touch it. All right, great.
Well, in my line of work, we call it examining, but yes, we are going to do that.
Sure. Okay, great. 2 light, 1
man.
dark, please.
Let's.
If you're like whichever devil's bark.
Yeah. Let's do all 3 again. So it looks like me. It's got something that I have, and when I get too close, it wakes up in some form.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yay!
what was that?
I've never seen that before.
It's Mac doing some weird shit, so never mind. Great.
Either way, now I'm very excited to roll these dice.
Oh my god.
2 light, 1 dark. I will roll thusly. That's a 3 dark.
Ooh. And you
Okay.
can't re-roll that one, right?
Because
dark
dark is the highest one.
No. Yeah, because
Rough.
like dark is always the highest. Okay, so hold on. Shit.
That's rough.
You fail and things get worse. GM describes how. May allow you to succeed, but things will get worse somehow. Okay, I don't think there's anything that we can do except this gets fucking worse. Okay, so here's how it gets worse. So, yeah, you go in, you look at it, you examine said body. It opens its eyes, looks at you, and you recognize. When its eyes are open, you recognize your features, your face, but these eyes are nothing like yours. These eyes are not human eyes. And yeah, you woke it up. And so it is angry, and it will literally shoot its arms up, grab you, and attack you. Now, I should mention that as typical of Trophy Dark, there's no real fighting of this monster. And anyone who attempts to do so is killed automatically. So, what would you like to do in this case? Rowan, by the way, you do see this.
Yeah, I imagine him coming up the stairs right as this thing. So the first thing I'd like to do to make things a lot more interesting is make a ruin roll when it opens its eyes, because that would terrify me.
Yes, sure.
So I'm going to roll a 6 on my ruin roll first, which is what I did.
Oh my god!
And then we can. I mean, I guess he would try to, wriggle away.
Sure.
start yelling in his suit. Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah, just can't like physically fight it for sure. So yeah, tell me what you're thinking as you are seeing into these eyes, this face that looks like yours.
Yeah, I think that the comms have been like super quiet for some reason. Neither Lucas nor Rowan have kind of reached out to each other, or if they have, it's just interference.
Yeah.
Until the moment where he crests the stairs and sees Lucas get grabbed, and then it's just shrill screaming in Rowan's headset as he sees Lucas like thrashing about, trying to get away from just get out of the grip of this thing that is,
Absolutely.
as me myself established, like 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah, yeah,
long
yeah.
limbs.
Sure, sure, sure. I think as you're struggling to get out, what do you have on your person that you recognize tucked into this thing's robes?
Um, ooh, that's good. I think that I'm gonna make it like this is not possible kind of thing, where it's like a small little like a notepad, like a physical pen and paper,
Mm-hmm.
like little journal basically that he's trying. He doesn't. He likes technology, but job is rooted in the past. He stays rooted in the past. He likes having pen and paper, which these things feasibly should not have.
Sure.
And they also shouldn't look like me either. So
Right. I'm gonna ask you because we are in ring 5, and you can choose to do this or you choose not to. You can do a reduction roll at the moment to try to
I
betray, sabotage, da da da, and then reduce your ruin.
okay, so there's two things I can think of. I can think that um one his number one priority is to just get away.
Okay.
So that would be, just going with the risk roll.
Yeah.
And two, so I can get everybody's opinion on this. Two is kind of like, he locks eyes with this thing, and
Mhm.
he kind of like points over his back with his flailing arm to Rowan, and it is like him, like me and you, we're the same. He's
Oh
the different
wow.
one.
Okay. So
Yes.
depending on how this reduction roll goes, like it'll either be very obvious or it won't be. So go
Yeah.
ahead and do the
Or maybe
reduction
it's
roll.
just eyes, but yeah.
Just yeah.
Reduction roll. I rolled a 6.
So,
Back to back 6s.
oh my God. So basically, Nat, yes, you are pointing directly at Rowan. Rowan sees this.
You can also choose not
Maybe
to
he
reduce
hears it.
and not take not be noticed, right?
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get to choose. So
Oh, okay.
if I do go through with reducing my
Okay.
my ruin, it is noticed.
Mhm.
Um,
That is up to you.
I think this thing I try, but this thing doesn't care, so it goes unnoticed in that way. So my ruin will not go down,
Mm.
but
Okay.
Rowan does not know I just tried to get him killed.
Right. Gotcha. Maybe he just thought your arm got flung. Oh
Yeah, I'm just
God.
flailing. That's
Yeah.
all I'm doing.
Right. So, do you want to risk it for a biscuit and try to get away?
Yeah, 100%. I want to try to wiggle out of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know my background skills doing a lot of heavy lifting, but I think perseverance
Yeah,
is what I'm angling for here.
sure. And maybe like, inner city schooling, you did a lot of tussling, so
Yeah,
you
I
kind
got
of know
bullied
how
a
to
lot. I
wiggle
was
out.
studying
Sure.
history. So
Yeah. Okay.
yes, then this is definitely dangerous. So 1 and
Yep.
1 so far.
Yep. And then, I mean, we already know what's going to go wrong if this fails. Devil's bargain, no matter what.
No matter what happens, Rowan interprets your flailing as betrayal anyway. I guess that's partly up to Rowan. But
Oh.
Um,
Let's see.
what else?
I think I have a what else?
I have what
Um,
else too. Go ahead. Excuse me.
but my thought is, no matter what, in your struggle, um, the paper that it is carrying of yours will flip open, and you will see on it there are notes that would conceivably help you crack
Mm.
something you've been trying to crack for some time. But obtaining said things would require even greater risk.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Holy shit. Um, I think mine was no matter what, you're going to see a vision as you're struggling with this thing, and then you're seeing the paper and such like that, like, you know, the recognized object. I think you meld a little bit with this thing, no matter what, and you start to see that this is one of the choices. This is one of the possibilities. You are a possibility. That is a possibility, and then you start seeing all these possibilities brought on by this place. Yeah. So, which of those
Yeah,
wonderful
I
DBs do you want?
I think that they happen pretty much at the same time. So um as this thing grabs Lucas and it sits up, the book kind of falls out and opens to, maybe like to make it easier to recognize for Lucas. It's like a diagram that's written of
Mm.
something that he would recognize
Yes.
that he's been trying to figure out.
Hmm.
and
And it's
then
complete.
and then when his is like half done or something like that. And then when they lock eyes is when Lucas is trying to sell him out, the meld kind of sell Rowan out. The meld kind of happens, and he realizes that it's all happening at the same time, all the time. What is time? All that.
Time after
Yeah, so that's
time.
2 light,
Sorry.
1 dark. 2 light, 1 dark.
Yeah.
It's a 5 light.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna add a dark die and a reroll.
Oh,
Nice.
might as well. Ring 5. Go for it. Oof.
Let's
Can
go.
I
Two
just
light, 2
ask?
dark, right?
2 light, 2 dark.
Now, can I just ask?
Yeah.
I have thought of a way that I might be able to help him, but I don't know how that works, or if I've forgotten how that works rules wise. Helping, I know there's a
yeah.
role for it, but I've forgotten.
Okay, so when you want to help, if they accept your help, you can say how you expose yourself to danger, and then you roll 1 light die, like the help roll. And
Mhm.
then the other treasure hunter may include your roll's result when calculating their success. But if
Okay.
your light die's result matches any of the dark die rolled, you will mark 1 ruin.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so you say how you are exposing yourself to danger.
So, exposing myself to danger would be seeing it and not realizing that he's trying to sell me out. I would basically run up to the thing and try to use my ritual ability to just looking at the thing, trying to figure out a way using this device
Uh-huh.
to put this creature back to sleep,
Oh man. Oh. Oh God. Okay.
or at least hinder it somehow. While
Sure.
yeah.
So go ahead and roll the light die.
Okay. And help. I shall roll help. And it is not the dark die. At least that was just rolled, but it's
3.
not helpful either.
Okay. Um.
It is a 3.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm sure this is inherently like risk because you're using that. Well, I don't care. At this point, let's just go for it. Okay. So just incorporate the 3 into what you roll now with doing the 2 light, 2 dark.
Okay.
So you
Yep,
have
sounds good.
this light die.
I have this 3. Perfect.
Yeah.
That is 4 dark.
Mm.
I
Okay.
cannot re-roll.
No.
It doesn't get worse, at least.
No. No. Okay. And oof. Okay, so it matches any dark die. It does not, thank God. So okay. Yeah. This is a complication. So you succeed. I'm gonna say like, that there was that Rowan was able to fiddle faddle with it and then make sure to bypass it, so it's like whatever was sealing the device, putting the thing to sleep is like now like done its thing and like, shimmer, and then it kind of like falls back into its crate. But complication. Mark, would you like to do the honors?
Hmm. Wow. Um, so thanks. Actually, my brain is empty. I can't think of anything right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I open up to either one of you how you think this is. It succeeds, you get away, but complication.
Um, I have a couple ideas. I don't want to necessarily undermine the devil's bargain. But I was thinking like the way it staggers back into bed or something, it
Mhm.
would kind of have stepped on the journal in such a way that it tears away the page that he would need to finish his
Mhm.
whatever big breakthrough he needed.
Yep.
So that's one idea.
Mhm.
Um, the other idea is that when it's going to lay down and Rowan's trying to fiddle with the thing, the thing is throwing an error at him that is saying that like there's only so much sleep juice left, so this thing is going to wake back up very quickly.
Hmm.
Well, here's the complication. So I'll get to you in half a mo, Rowan, as you're fiddling with the device. So you, I think, look up on the wall and see the glyphs and like really start to notice them, because as you are seeing the planet charts, I think you have a leap of recognition that these planet charts are showing times and locations, one of
Hmm.
which is Earth in the very near future. There
Hmm.
is sounds coming from outside of what sounds like a city awakening. The green lights on the distant buildings are becoming brighter, and there is the groan and shriek of rusted metal returning to life. As you feel this structure that you're in start to shake. What do you do? This is for Lucas and Rowan.
Rowan's just gonna say, "Come on, let's get the hell out of here." And
Yeah,
he's gonna
Lucas is
start doing that.
still kind of like looking down. He's not immediately concerned with the shaking of everything, weirdly enough. He's kind of staring at the thing a little bit, and then he's like, "Oh, he'll go with you if like you start to tug on him or something." But he's
Oh
kind of
yes,
like,
very much so.
yeah, he'll like kind of be half-heartedly like getting pulled away. Okay,
I
okay.
think as the building is shaking and he's pulling you away, it's like maybe some of that shaking and the groan of metal is starting to sound like applause.
We need something from here, right? I mean, we have to have something.
And I think Rowan's just sort of like, if it doesn't mean anything if we can't bring it, if we're not alive to bring it back. What happened to Newton? Something happened to Newton.
Yes, something did happen to Newton.
Oh God.
He's part of this place now. So I guess we can go.
Good. Yeah.
Okay,
I
now
always
here's
send someone back later.
Right. Here's the trick, and this is where it makes it very dangerous. So the way this incursion works is that, to get away, if you attempt to return to the surface, either to flee or send a message to Earth, you will have to again pass through all of the rings in reverse, each of which will require a risk roll.
Easy
I know.
going.
So, starting with ring 4, each of you make a risk roll, please.
See.
So, like,
I guess we
build
need
it
to-
as
we need
normal.
to build
Yes.
the- yeah.
Yeah. Building is normal. So,
I was just going to look for that other bridge that was supposed to be leading up here.
could do that too. But again, like each one requires a risk roll. Okay.
I mean,
Like we're just
fair.
not gonna like, get too ponderous about it because like, this is just to show urgency. So
Oh, sure.
for Rowan, you've got your former athlete thing. You've got
Yeah.
it's gonna be risky, so of course a dark die. And then like your no matter what. I don't know if anybody has any suggestions for a quick no matter what.
Going back to ring 4.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start with the harshest no matter what. No matter what, on the way back to ring 4, we lose the drone.
Yeah. Oh, my heart. Okay, so Rowan, if you want to go ahead and do 2 light, do 1 dark, if you want to take that devil's bargain. Holy shit.
Alas, I shall take the bargain.
Okay,
Um,
2 light, 1 dark.
Steve, no.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. So it's 2 light, 1 dark.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rolling. I got a 6. Light.
What? All right, 6 light gets you succeed. But I think maybe how you succeed is that the drone went first, leading you out, and the creature got it. And Lucas, please make your risk roll. So
Yeah, so I tend to play my characters like I drive them like a stolen car.
Sure.
So I do not think perseverance he doesn't like necessarily want to leave after he saw himself in like he was in a important position up there. He was the guy at
sure.
the middle of everything, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think if you guys got a good devil's bargain for me, that's the only light die I'm gonna get for this.
Oh, okay. Hmm. I think in getting away, you lose the notebook completely, like your notebook. So there goes the revolutionary idea. Goddamn. So yeah, that's the no matter what I'm going to offer. In order to get away, you have to dump a lot of stuff, and one of them is notebook.
Is this my role? So he got through ring 4, so this is my role getting back through ring 4, right? Am I understanding
Getting
that?
through ring 4, correct? Like
Okay,
past the
perfect.
monster. Yeah.
Perfect. Are we doing just one devil's bargain per
Yeah, because I mean,
ring?
again, I want to show the urgency of like, getting back
Yeah,
through the ranks.
perfect. I will not take that, so I will just roll one dark die
Oh
for this.
God. Okay.
It's a 4.
Oh man, your ruin doesn't go up. You keep it together, but dang. Mark, you got any complication?
Mm,
I mean, you've already well, you didn't take the devil's bargain, so I mean,
yeah. Complication is that you hear the voice of the thing from the city calling you back as your
man.
voice.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so Rowan really has to drag him along now.
Oh shit.
He's almost pulling against you at this point as we get to ring 3.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, and to tie it into the notebook,
Uh,
one of the things it says is, "I have more for you."
Bastard. Oh my god. Okay. So, ring 3, you get down you get past the monster, you go down the elevator shaft, and a lot faster this time. And when you get to ring 3, yeah, definitely risk roll here. This is the floor of the spheres and the monoliths. But perhaps you both see like the after image of those structures up top. But all right. So, Rowan, again, you can still use athletics if you want to try and get around. I mean, like the whole structure is like
Yeah.
shaking right now, as if it's about
Yeah,
ready
pretty
to
much.
launch. Yeah. So,
I'm trying to
and
get the
then-
both of us up.
right. Yeah. So you like risky for you for sure, and then like Devil's Bargain. Oh boy.
Oh, I think I got one.
Sure.
No matter what, you come too close to one of these spheres and
Yeah.
you catch the memories from one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want that? You don't have
Yeah,
to.
I'll take it.
Oh man.
I'll
Okay. So
take it. Yeah.
that gets you 2 light, 1 dark. Sure.
Yeah. That's not coming out of this unscarred.
Hey, we're lucky if you come out of this if it's trophy dark. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's true.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I should just have ended that sentence halfway.
Yes. I am wearing my cat with a knife shirt. So
Fair. So 2 light, 1 dark. I shall roll. I got a 6 light.
oh my god, you are a lucky son of a gun tonight, man.
Yeah, what's
He
happening?
refuses to die.
Right now.
Damn.
I don't know
Okay.
what's happening.
Holy sheep.
Come on.
Seriously, you are. Yeah, I mean, like you're
Killing
just.
it.
Maybe you're remembering like I forget like was it soccer, like you're really remembering like
Yeah.
jumping over some of those
Yeah.
guys that were trying to take you out for sure.
It's your
And like
it's your sheer hatred of Anantech that is getting you
Yeah.
out of
no,
here.
that's probably what it is.
These guys
It
are not going to
is.
kill me.
Anantech killed your friend.
He's running entirely on spite.
Yes, that sounds valid. Okay, Lucas, please risk roll. Yeah, you're hearing this stuff and definitely risky to your mind. I think this is more mind than anything else at this point. And then any skills?
No, don't think so.
Okay, so Devil's Bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. No matter what.
Maybe the opposite. As you're running past, like in the other direction, some of the knowledge that was given to you gets pulled out.
Oh mama.
No,
No.
my thoughts.
Oh,
I
no.
would love to take that one actually.
Okay.
So 1 light, 1 dark is what I'm going with.
Yes.
That is a 6 dark.
Ooh.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you fail a risk roll, you will stumble into one of the memory spheres, and the implanted personality in your brain will not fade so quickly. Anyone hitting 6 ruin here will have their personalities replaced with those of a long dead alien. Please tell me how you are lost to your environment.
Okay, so it's a matter of basically being myself being replaced with an alien. Is that what we're
Correct.
okay? I think that yeah, he stumbles just as kind of Rowan stumbles into one. He stumbles and Rowan kind of fights it. He's able to fight off this mind expanding experience. So as he can completely is pulling Lucas, all of a sudden it's just like no movement whatsoever. Like Lucas is bolted to the floor, and when he turns around, it's just like the white glow of eyes, and and he shakes it off, right? And then the eyes come back, and Rowan is like, "Okay, dude, like let's fucking go. You're sitting around," and he's like, "Yeah, we should get out of here."
Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god!
Rowan does not even give it a second thought. He's like,
No,
yeah, let's go.
of course not. Of course he doesn't.
No.
Holy shit! Okay, so now we are we are passing through Ring 2 to traverse the broken bridge. Yeah. So, Rowan, you are the last one that has to do risk rolls. Jesus.
So let's see, more athletics.
Yep.
I would presume.
Risky for the body for sure.
Yep. Yep.
And then sorry. Devil's Bargain. I forget, did you take some stuff from here like when you initially came by the first time?
I think I don't think I've taken anything really. In the ring prior, I changed a thing around, but I didn't take it with me.
Okay. Well, okay, so I'm going to say the devil's bargain is that the tear in your suit, like, whatever repair tape, whatever they used for it, it's starting to wear, especially as you're stumbling through this place. And, as you're trying to make your way through the broken bridge, you fall, even more of a tear now. And you don't have anybody really around to help you with the repair. You might think you got Lucas, but I don't think Lucas is going to be much help at this point. But you don't know that yet.
And honestly, that's perfect for the way that I've been sort of seeing in my mind the way that Rowan is going out, possibly. So, yeah, I think that I think that is the leak open. Yeah, the leak will open up.
Okay.
And they'll
Too light,
be
one dark.
losing oxygen.
Yeah.
All right, 2 light, 1 dark. I got a 6 dark.
You go up to 5.
All right.
Ooh, down to the wire.
Down to the wire. Wow.
There's no one left to betray, so
You don't know that though. Like
That's true.
Rowan doesn't know that.
But I
So
You might
honestly don't think
inadvertently be
he's-
doing a heroic thing by sacrificing your teammate.
yeah,
but
it's your choice.
I don't think he'd. Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't think he'd try to do any betrayals of any kind here to
He's just so
do
like,
anything
gotta get out.
Yeah.
All right.
It's right
self-interest necessarily, unless he sort of to complicate things.
Okay. All right.
Aside from trying to mess up stuff here to betray future missions, I don't know. Would something like that count?
No.
No.
Because
Okay,
basically
so
it's
yeah,
like,
no.
you're trying to
wouldn't.
serve you because your ruin has gone up. I'm gonna say that like, you're just anything that you do that you think is going to be a betrayal, at least because of your raising of ruin, I think
Yeah.
you're actually going to try to do stuff in the forest's interest rather than like anything else,
Yeah.
unless you want to do a real reduction roll and betray Lucas.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
I'm so what if
I don't think he would. Good.
Game wise, if we're talking player versus character knowledge here, saving Lucas is in the forest's interests
I mean,
in
it
the
is.
first place.
Ooh, yeah.
True.
So if you are really
Mm.
intent on getting him out of there, I could see how that could be a reduction,
Okay.
just mechanically,
Okay.
because you don't know,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
are letting it out, so to speak.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially if the thing is leaking, he thinks you're going to need to, So, yeah. No, I think he's just even more fervently trying to help get Lucas out. So,
Okay.
would that work?
I'll accept that.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right.
Okay. Reduction roll, please.
So strange, even making it. I don't know if should I make a reduction roll at this point. We're so close.
That is up
I'll
to
go
you.
ahead and do it. I wasn't going to until you said trying to get Lucas out is working in the forest's interest, and that I think would work. That I think would work. I will go ahead and attempt to make the roll. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
3.
There you go.
Okay. All
Less
right.
than current ruin. Betrayal goes unnoticed. I decrease my ruin by 1.
So you're back down to 4.
Yeah, Lucas is like, we have to patch your suit up as soon as possible.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right.
Oh God, it's going again. All right.
Okay.
If we can get back there before I pass out.
Reach ring 1. The panel of arcing electricity is active again, but channeling even more power. So those bouncing arcs that you saw earlier, these are now larger, thicker, and more frequent. Risk roll, please.
Okay.
Maybe like as Rowan is thinking really hard and frenziedly trying to figure out a way around this, maybe the camera sees behind him Lucas looking quite still and calm and neutral, which is creepy as fuck.
Super creepy. I love it.
As the arcs illuminate Lucas's face. Oh God. Oh God, I'm
So-
scaring myself, and I'm the one running this game. Okay,
think
sorry,
that,
Rowan. Yeah, athletics again. I'm sure you're trying to
Yeah.
use this all to your best
Well,
ability.
Yeah, basically, it's like trying to get out fast.
Yep, risky,
I'm still
definitely.
trying to shield Lucas as we're getting out.
Yeah. No matter
also,
what.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Lucas somehow steps completely deftly through all of this.
Yeah, how
Mhm.
strange.
Yeah, isn't that
sure.
weird? He has no issue getting through this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No matter what. Huh.
Hmm. No matter. Oh, that's not gonna. That would be. No, that's not bad. That's good.
Can't be helping people right now.
Okay, so do it the other way.
Oh, wait.
you-
There was
you
something
get an
about the
alert.
Anantech, the
Yeah.
panels that was Anantech. Hold on.
You get an alert
Yeah.
on your comms, like crackles and like you hear a shift in tone, and it's like this is your Anatech liaison. Please return to the site, or your contract will be penalized with additional terms, such and such.
Oh,
That's
I was gonna say,
Desperation.
I was gonna say, like it would break your contract. Like, no, that's what you want to do.
No, that's what you want.
they-
Yeah.
they make the contract
Congratulations.
worse.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
they extend it or put
I
more
love that.
fees on it or whatever.
Yeah.
Two
It's
light, one
like- So
dark.
now he has a choice between either returning to the site. Oh my God.
Two light or
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I'll take that.
okay,
I'll
two
take
light,
that.
one dark, please. Risk roll.
Ah.
Ooh.
Six dark.
Good thing you did that reduction.
I know, right?
This could have been hilarious. Wow. So that's a 5, but you succeed. How do you succeed?
I think that there's no panel on this side
Mhm.
for him to try to do the same trick he did before.
Yeah,
So he has to leave a tool behind to create a short circuit.
right.
And so it's like just a little spanner or something that he'll
Sure.
takes out and like jams between a couple of the panels
Mhm.
to try to help him at least so the cascade doesn't even go away, but it just makes it so that there's enough of it passing outside of the middle that it's easier to get around.
Yeah.
So it's possible to get around.
Yeah. Normally, I
And-
would ask how you sink deeper into the forest, but I think by having Lucas with you still intact,
Yeah.
you're
I make
intact.
absolutely sure Lucas gets through.
Yeah. And so we have
And as you step through, it goes. You're like, ding, contract extended. Ding, fees added. Ding, percentage reduced.
Yeah.
A higher
And he's
APR
just
and
sort of a
everything.
point. He's like,
Yeah, it's like trying to get out of an HOA or
Yeah.
something.
all right.
he's
Or
trying to
timeshare.
figure that out, and he's like trying to process that. He's like, oh God, I need to
So,
at least get Lucas out.
oh my gosh. So as we fade to dark and you escape the structure, the two of you escape the structure, and you see the building behind you turn, or I should say shake, as it rises up off of the ground and then launches. We're going to fade on that, and we're going to enter epilogues. Would you guys like a couple of minutes break to try to figure that out, or would you want to just kind of have a couple of minutes to figure it out and then press on? Because epilogues are where you talk about what's going on with your character. If you survived, it doesn't have to be right afterwards. It could be like in the future. And if you expired or were lost to the forest, then you would say how the world was affected in some way with your passing.
I only have one question
Yeah.
for an epilogue.
Yeah.
The ship launches, like, are we assuming like Earth is going to be destroyed? Does Earth go on and be infiltrated?
There
I
is a
think
plan
infiltrated.
underway. That's all you
Yep.
know. And
Okay.
that thing that looked like you was on it.
Yes, because I have an idea. I could
Okay,
just
yeah.
go right now for an epilogue.
If you want, sure. Yeah, please.
I think we see Lucas back on Earth after the expedition is over, and I think it snaps from black to just like thunderous applause, and he's getting a Nobel Prize. And he just like he I don't even think he's smiling. He's just like sitting there nodding a little bit, and then it just instantly cuts right back to black after that, super quick. All it does is that little focus shot, like the extreme close up on like the eyes. That's all you get, like a little flash, and maybe it flashes back to the body inside, and you see it interchanges, like intercuts with the alien body that was laying on top, and you see like human eyes looking around, and then it cuts to black.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Do you want Mark to go, or shall I?
You can go for it.
I do have something.
Okay.
This is not a happy ending. I think there's this brief moment. There's this. Okay, let's see if I set this up properly. So we hear the canned music that is played in the Anantech office, as we see Rowan standing up as his number is called. And we see him in an office somewhere just across a desk from someone. And maybe there's also like a lawyer of some kind that he's hired in the room with him. But which also means there are a couple of Anantech lawyers there as well. And so he's like, and the lawyer is just sort of telling him this is the best deal that you're going to get. And he's like, but they're free and clear. Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. And to release the hold that they have on the parents' house. He signs a contract. We see him signing a contract. And then we see him coaching football, soccer. We have a shot of him. It's a very pretty day. He's on the football pitch. He's with these kids running around, teaching them how to play, helping them play. One of them scores a goal, and he stands up and he's cheering, and there's a shift, and as we pull back, as it looks for some strange incongruous reason like they suddenly changed careers, we pull back, and there's this brief sort of FX shift slightly, this as we pull out, and we see him. He is in a laboratory on Earth, but he's in a thing that looks very much like one of these monoliths, and his head is inside the chamber, and he is lying in basically a medical coma as they take continuous readings and studies of him and everything that his mind went through. As they and on the monitor, you can see that there's some sort of connection. There's the little red eye coming down on him as well, watching him. On the monitor, you see that basically you see the little sort of thing of that playing through him coaching football, but it's the children look a little different on the monitor. He's basically teaching the there's a link, and he's teaching that species about Earth culture, and that's where we pull out and fade away.
Yeah, I think that's a great ending. I don't think I need to add anything about Newton.
Oh my God. Amazing. Dang it. I'm just going to start with stars and wishes because damn, I mean, again, first time running this, and I mean, I've seen all of you play and it's been wonderful, but this session was fucking amazing. That's all I can say. I mean, stars for the reactions, stars for the devil's bargains, the like, what could go wrong, and then building like, to explain ruin, not ruin, into risk, and coming from risk into ruin again. It was just like such a great build foundation, and then going into the urgency part of it, it's like, you guys felt like what I was trying to go for, especially like for those last two rings, and like the reversal, which was amazing. Holy shit. And all of the things that you were adding to make this really surreal, confusing, but yet also very sci-fi space horror-esque and psychological horror. It was all beautiful. I mean, so many specifics that I'd have to timestamp like at least 20 some odd things among this whole episode, at least. Yeah, so brilliant stars. I mean, like, I really don't have any wishes because, I mean, I could only hope that if I, play this again with other people, it's like it would be just as brilliant. I mean, what else am I going to say, Damn, you all did such a great job. Stars, 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 Mario bursting stars, as I usually say. So.
Or maybe the balloons from earlier.
I don't know how to do that again. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It just happened. So weird.
Yeah, I'll go next. I echo. This was super, super fun. Played a lot of Trophy Dark. This was
Sorry,
one of the
I
best
don't know
ones.
that one.
That's okay, Echo.
Oh Jesus, that's terrifying given the context.
Yeah, every time I was like, okay, yeah, that's bad. Someone would be like, No, actually, oh, that's way worse.
So good.
So good. I feel like I don't not trauma out. I don't go to the forest. I don't reach the sixth ruin that often in Trophy Dark games, unless I need to leave early. Um, yeah, so this is really fun to be like, okay, cool, like this is how it goes out, and then still be able to be a part of it. It's super fun. Um, yeah, so many good things. Can't even say. Yeah, really, no wishes. Yeah.
I'll just say that was awesome. I cannot believe I made it out of there. That was just some ridiculously stupid lucky rolling. That's the only reason he survived. I had a thought. It's not. This isn't a wish per se, but I'd sort of stepped in my head. Okay, he's just going to run out of oxygen. That's going to be kind of sort of something I was kind of thinking would be how things end for him. But just the whole freaking thing with. I gotta say, I mean, just I loved the way Mark described Newton's death and getting lost in the environment. That was wonderful and heartbreaking. And then just seeing how Billy described Lucas. I mean, it's already been offering great no matter what's, and the merchandising solidarity was awesome. I made a note about that, but then just the freaking turn into the alien at that point, just awesome. That was wonderful. Just the way that they just sort of just the instant switch, that was so good. And just I love just how Mads just is able to give such good detailed descriptions, and you feel like you're in the place. And great alien dialogue that we got to hear, even even though it was not in English or any language that we could understand on this planet, it was great having that come out. And I like the trophy system. I enjoy getting the idea that we get pulled for potential outcomes. It reminds me a little bit of A Penny for My Thoughts in that, now that I've played this a couple of times. Yeah, just sort of a little bit, just that one aspect. Or could it be this? So I liked this very much, and I will probably look more at Trophy in future when I get a chance. But this was awesome, folks, and everyone was brilliant, and I loved it.
I mean, I have to thank Ember and Ash for a beautifully written incursion, I must say. I mean, this was really well written. I didn't have to do a whole crap load of a lot for descriptions. You guys answered the prompt so well that all I was doing was trying to call back as much as possible. And then also, excuse me, the initial descriptions of setting up the scene were just spot on. I mean, again, I didn't have to make any changes. I didn't have to make very many additions. It was just like clarifying where you guys were, what the hell you guys were seeing, and just you guys running with it so well. Oh my gosh. So
yeah. The beauty of going last in Stars and Wishes is you can just say everybody said everything already, which is 100% true. There were so many great things. All the characterization stuff was great. I was really happy because usually I'm the one that dies in like Ring 4 if I play Trophy Dark. So Marc did such a great job of that and played really well into the echoing words afterwards and beckoning and stuff. And Jim did such a great job of like, I need to help Lucas at the top of this thing. And then he kept that going all the way, literally the whole way back through, for better or worse. Stuck to it, and I could see why Rowan would, right? Especially if they lost Newton. It all felt really natural, and it felt like like a movie that I would watch 100%. So that's kudos to everybody. Mads, the way you ran it was perfect. Wishes is to just play more games. That's my wish.
absolutely. Oh my gosh. Again, such a great job. And I must say, I mean, like, we generally go like driving as Billy has said, like, the characters like stolen cars to their tragic ends, but I thought it was just such an interesting way, even though generally you don't see very much helping happening in Trophy Dark. But I
Mhm.
thought it was such a tribute to Rowan's character that, he was still going to try. He was still going to go for it. He was still going to try to get Lucas out, even though he had no idea that Lucas wasn't really Lucas anymore, and that it was still tragic. He survived, but then didn't make it. So it was like, oh man, that was even better than you just doing a simple betrayal. I mean, it's so great.
Yeah, and Alien Lucas got Lucas's drive, which I thought was a lot of fun too, and Lucas never
Yeah, that was
experienced
yeah.
amazing. It's like,
That was so awesome.
Real good.
that was just, oh my god. That again, that would be a movie. This was all like the whole thing was a movie I would totally watch. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was trying to get like the Donald Sutherland Invasion of the Body Snatchers
Yeah.
Oh
bit
yes.
at the end. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So good. Damn. Oh my god, you guys did so well. Happy Halloween. This was a
Yeah.
great
Hey.
topper for
A
my
good
evening.
Halloween. Yeah.
Very excellent Halloween. It's like, who needs candy? Like we got games.
Yes.
Old
Trophy
fashioned
Dark is-
sassafras candy.
Oh, well, there you go. If you got that, and like who needs anything else? Okay, great. But yeah, thank you so much again for this wonderful experience. I'd like, this first time, taking this incursion out for a spin, which was absolutely wonderful. And I hope to see you again in more games.
Yeah.
But until the next time we play together, which I think for definitely you and I, Billy, will be for the November 18th for Allura, which is another
Yes.
space horror. Yay!
Yeah.
Space things,
That
bad
one's
space things.
fun.
Space horror. And so, yeah, we will, I wish you guys happy gaming for anything that you're doing in the interim. All right. So have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next time,
Yeah.
whenever that
See you next
is.
time.
Yay.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.